Okay, does this sound like you? You record a video, you watch it back, and you instantly cringe. You think, oh my gosh, I sound like a robot. I am looking off into nowhere. I'm not making eye contact with the viewer of the video. And you start wondering, is this ever going to get easier? Will this ever feel natural? The good news is it's totally normal to feel that way, and there is a very simple fix for it. So, today I want to show you why you feel unnatural, what you can do to fix it, and why this is so important. This is such an important skill for you to be able to attract new business. Let's start with the most common mistake I see. Number one, stand up. I used to record standing up, and then I got in the habit of sitting down. I got my new office all set up and a beautiful desk and a comfy chair. And I got into the habit of sitting down. But what I find is that when I record sitting down, I have much less energy in my body. So if you have less physical energy, you have less energy in your voice, in your inflection, in your facial expressions, all of the things. Have you ever heard somebody say when you're on the phone, you should smile because we can hear the smile in your voice? It's kind of the same idea. So if you feel like, I sound like a robot, try standing up. The way that I have my entire set up, I record with the webcam on my computer and I have a sit stand desk. It's not really a sit stand desk. It's a thing that you put on your desk that raises and lowers. I don't even know what to call it. I got it off Amazon. I'll put the link down below. But when I will go to record, I raise this up. So now my computer is at eye level instead of down because I'm standing in front of my desk. And I just kick my chair out of the way. My lightings and my microphone are all attached to this thing. So when I raise it up, everything goes with it. And when I'm done and I want to sit down again, I just push it back down to the bottom of the desk. It works great. That will definitely help. But another reason why you feel awkward and stilted is if you're reading from a teleprompter. And I get why we do this. We think, like, I've got to say just the right thing. I don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to quote any statistics wrong. I don't want to make any mistakes because heaven forbid I make a mistake on camera and someone would actually see it. But you're so focused on getting the words right that your message comes across very flat, very monotone. When somebody clicks on your video and you're reading from a teleprompter and you're not really making eye contact with the camera lens, you're kind of looking off to the side, and you say something like, "Hey everyone, welcome to my channel," and it clearly sounds like you're reading, they feel weird. They might not be able to identify exactly why they feel weird, but they know something is wrong and they go, "Oh." And so they leave your video very quickly. The skill of speaking to the camera, not speaking at the camera, is something that you can definitely learn. So, how can we do it? What I like to do is I write my opening hook exactly the way that I want to say it. I write it out word for word and I glance at it on my notes, and then I look back at the camera and I say it. And if I could not remember the entire thing, let's say that it was 3 sentences long and I only remembered the first sentence. I look at my notes, I learn it, I look back at the camera and I start talking, and then I totally forget what the next line was. So I just kind of freeze. I keep my facial expression in the same place. I keep my hands in the same place. And I just look back at my notes. "Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say." And then I continue on with the next sentence. Now, when I go to edit it, I just remove that pause. But because I didn't completely change facial expressions, I didn't go from smiling to nothing. I didn't go from arms crossed to arms on my hips. I am able to kind of camouflage that cut because if you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't even see it. So I like to do that for my opening because the first 10 seconds of your video are so important, getting people to stick around and watch the video. We don't want to screw that part up. But then for the rest of the video, do you have to read a script? Do you have to read from a teleprompter? Is it really that important? I don't think that it is. I like to have bullet points and I can refer to my notes and say, this is what we're talking about next. But I don't have anything written, so I'm not reading. You'll notice a huge difference. If you're just talking off the cuff, you will sound so much more natural. You'll have more inflection. You'll probably be using your hands a little bit more. But if you're reading from a teleprompter, you feel very stiff. You start acting like the people on the 6 o'clock news, maybe not intentionally, but you just kind of get into that habit. And then the people that are watching the videos just can't relate to you. You don't seem to have any warmth. You don't seem to have any personality. And if they don't connect with you, they're not going to come back and watch future videos. So I say ditch the teleprompter. You absolutely do not need it. Just make a bulleted list of these are all of the talking points for this video. And then between sections, glance at your list, look back at the camera, and start talking. Another tip is do not imagine that you are talking to multiple people. This drives me crazy when I click on a video and they say, "Hey guys, welcome to the video." I think, do you think that I'm sitting on my couch with like 18 of my closest friends and we're all watching your YouTube video together? I don't. I'm usually watching it by myself on my phone without my posse with me, and we're all watching the videos together. You're typically talking to one person, and this is good because it allows you to have a one-on-one conversation with a specific person. It'll make you less nervous. If you're talking to Diane that lives down the street and said, "I'm thinking about selling my house. Can I ask you a few questions?" And you say, "Yeah, let's go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee and I'll tell you what the market is doing." Are you going to be really nervous? I mean, maybe you really want Diane to list her house with you, but are you nervous to talk to her? Probably not. Probably not. You know her, you know what the market is doing, you know how to sell houses. You're probably not nervous. But if I said, "Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you came to my conference. By the way, there's 1,000 people in the audience. Would you please get up on stage and give me a 1 hour presentation on what the market is doing?" You would probably have a little bit of a heart attack and die inside, right? Because that is scary. That is terrifying. So let's not imagine that we're talking to thousands of people. We are talking to one specific person. Now, on this channel, you've heard me say this a million times over. One person with one problem. Imagine who that person is and what is the problem that they have that this video will solve for them. If you feel like you're just not getting anywhere with your YouTube channels, you make videos, you put them out, and you're not getting any leads from it, I probably know why that's happening. I bet you are not being clear enough on who is your channel for, what do you talk about on this channel, and how do you help one specific person with one specific problem? So I'm doing a free 3-day challenge starting on October 21st, and it's called Nail Your Niche. We've got to get this right before anything else with your YouTube channel is going to work. So if you want some help, come join my free 3-day challenge. I'll put the link down below, and I hope to see you at Nail Your Niche. Okay, now back to the video. You can find like my ideal client avatar. I've given her a name. I could go to Google and type in just that name and then click on images, and I'll see 1,000 photos of people with that name, and then just pick one and print it out and stick it on the wall by your computer. Now, when you sit down to record your videos, look at that person and imagine, when I look at the camera lens, that is who I am talking to. Not a crowd, talking to that specific person. Which brings me to another tip. You are not looking at the camera lens. If you are filming with your phone and you're holding the phone this way, so you're looking at your face on the screen, you are looking here at yourself. Do you like my screensaver? You are looking at your face on the screen instead of looking here, which is where the camera lens. So if you're holding your phone to your head to talk on the phone, where your ear goes is basically where the camera is on an iPhone. I would assume it's in the same place on an Android device. So here's a great tip. Take a Post-it note. I don't have a Post-it note, but here's a business card. Stick it right here and draw a big arrow pointing to the camera lens. Now, when you set your video camera up to record and you start trying to look at your face, you won't be able to see yourself because there's a big Post-it with an arrow saying, "Look here, dummy." Or you can use these cameras right here, and that will be not only fine, it's actually a better resolution. It'll be a better quality. So when you set your camera up on your tripod, you can't look at your face because you can't see yourself. This does mean that you'll have to do a test shot. Set it all up, hit record, run around to the other side, record yourself, run back and play it, and make sure that the top of your head is not getting shut off and that you're not like down here at the very bottom of the camera frame. You'll have to do a test shot and make sure it's okay. It's fine. It takes a second. You might have to do it a couple of times. Once you have it set up where it should go, a great thing to do would be set up the tripod and don't move it. Leave it there so that the next time you film a video, the tripod is already there. You just come and put your camera, your phone into the tripod. We don't have to make any changes because it's in the same place that it was last time. I like to have the camera at eye level or even a little bit above. If you put it below, you end up getting a little bit of the double chin action going on, which is not very flattering to anybody. I don't care your age. So rather than looking down, don't put your laptop on your desk. You sit at your desk and you look down at the laptop screen. It will never look good. And so when you play it back and go, ugh, that looks so, is that what I look like? Oh my gosh, I look like I'm 95 years old. It's not you, it's the camera angle. Raise the camera up and it will automatically make it look a million times better. I love having external light sources because I film in this room that is very, very dark, and I close all of the curtains so that I can turn on lights. If I open the curtains and I have natural light coming in, when the clouds go in front of the sun, I get a big shadow. It makes it harder to edit the videos later. So I just close all the curtains and I have two lights. I have one here and I have one here, and then I have all the little blue ones back there. So I have two lights that are shining on my face, and one of them is covered by tissue paper. Yes, I am so high tech around here. It was too bright, too harsh. It did not have one of those diffuser screens that goes across the front of it. And I wanted it to be softer and more flattering. So, being the ingenious, creative, cheap person that I am, I went into where I keep all of my wrapping paper and I found the tissue that you stuff inside gift bags for somebody's birthday. And I put it over the light and stuck it there with Scotch tape. Problem solved. Now I have a DIY diffuser. So when the light comes in on me, it's not so harsh and it's much more flattering. Here's another great tip that I learned back from when I was singing on stage. I majored in music. I wanted to be a professional singer. You would stand on the stage with one foot slightly in front of you. So instead of having your feet hip width apart, you put one foot farther forward and then you put all of your weight on that front foot. So I could literally be standing on one foot. My back foot is basically just there for balance so I don't fall down. And when you're leaning forward on this foot, it just does something to your body that makes it look better than just standing like this. I really can't explain why it's better. Just try it. I promise you, you might like it. You might hate it, but you might love it too. And then before you go to speak, you can go like this. Stretch. And you'll notice how much higher your shoulders are. So normally your shoulders are down here, but after you do one of these and you put your hands down, your shoulders are higher, your chest is lifted, your head is up. You're going to take a big inhale, hold it. And now we start talking. So you're not taking a giant breath and then immediately starting to talk. You inhale, you've got the proper body posture. And then when you start to speak, it makes it so much easier to edit the video because I didn't have to cut out this giant breath right before I started to talk. The more you practice doing these things, the easier they feel. And if you are just dependent on reading a script from a teleprompter right now, I really encourage you to try just writing bullet points. The only part that is super important that you get right is that first 10 to 15 seconds, because that will determine whether they stick around and watch the rest of your video or not. That part we want to get right. Can I memorize a sentence or two sentences? Sure. Can I memorize 3 paragraphs in a row? Probably not. I don't have that great of a memory, but can I say a couple of sentences and then pause and then look at my notes and then look back and say the rest of them? Yes. If I can do it, I promise you can do it. This is just a skill that you have to practice, and it gets better with practice. When you get better on camera, you will get more leads and get more clients. It is just that simple. If your videos are stilted and awkward and downright hard to watch, you're not going to have as many people that resonate with you and connect with your message. If you are confident on camera and they like watching you and they like listening to you, you will get more leads, plain and simple. If you're serious about getting better on camera, I want you to watch this video next, the silent killer of YouTube channels. You do not want to make this mistake. You've got to fix this as well. So I'll catch you on that video next.